I'm connected in different businesses, but all the businesses somehow connected with Malaysia. So always when I come back to Malaysia, I feel really good. And of course, it's a stable country, and their growth and the potential of business always inspire us and connect the business. So yeah, it's lovely.
Thank you everyone to be back on the show today. This is Julien Drolon, your host. I have the immense pleasure to interview the first woman on the podcast, Miss Kanish Fatima, multi-entrepreneur from Bangladesh, very successful. You launched a few pioneering businesses in Bangladesh that we're going to talk about, but we're here today still in Kuala Lumpur, just after the summit, Investor Summit 2024, hosted by Business Summit. How do you feel about Malaysia? You've been telling me that you came already 3 or 4 times. Every time you come, how is the feeling? How do you see the country growing? And what are you looking for in terms of business in Southeast Asia?
Well, thank you so much. Actually, yeah, regarding the business summit, it's a very lovely thing because you know that people from different background, different type of business, and all over the globe, they came here in Kuala Lumpur this time, and few of the business fellow were familiar because we participated in different other countries. Like I participated in Lisbon, Portugal. I saw some of my business colleagues were there as well, and they came here, and I got very the new friends, some different type of business ideas this time in Kuala Lumpur. So it's a very lovely arrangement, and required for the business people who have vision to move their business globally. So personally, I'm from Bangladesh, and of course, all the businesses are connected with different other countries. So this sort of platform always helped me to find some scope of work or partnership or collaboration. So that's why I'm here and back again to the Business Summit. And as a city, Malaysia, it's always very close to my heart, because surprisingly, I'm connected in different businesses, but all the businesses somehow connected with Malaysia. So always when I come back to Malaysia, I feel really good. And of course, it's a stable country, and their growth and the potential of business always inspire us and connect the business. So yeah, it's lovely.
So we're going to dive into your businesses as you're talking about the connection with Malaysia, because you are the pioneer in helping Bangladeshi workers to find jobs abroad. And of course, Malaysia is one of the recipient countries.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how did you come up with this idea? Of course, the demand was there, but what was the motivation behind this? I always like to ask the intention behind a business idea.
Well, thank you so much. This is an interesting journey, because I used to travel a lot long back during my the student life and then early stage. So the travel tourism, that was the main concept of my entrepreneur journey, and I started my business in tourism sector. So at that time, Malaysia was a very popular destination for Bangladeshi people. So I started my business in tourism sector, and undoubtedly Malaysia was one of my territory where I used to send my corporate clients for their group tours and the trainings and everything. So that was the beginning, and from that experience, I got a different picture, because you know that whenever you will go to Malaysia, maybe in Singapore, and maybe in Saudi Arabia, Dubai, you will see so many people from Bangladesh. They used to work in the hotels, the restaurants. So always even the Maldives, you will see that Bangladeshi people are working there. Having a business in tourism sector, the professionals from tourism, and hospitality, I used to connect them globally. So that was my philanthropy. And during the pandemic, the business was shut down. The whole world was, that we are actually stuck. And that time I realized this is another interesting business I'm doing, but without a business model. So that time tourism was completely shut down. I had plenty of time. And I just, resketch the whole thing and make a business model. No, I will do it professionally, and I started connected the Bangladeshi professionals globally. Of course, I started with the tourism professionals, and then I discovered that we have plenty of IT professionals, engineers. Those are doing good in locally and globally, but surprisingly, we don't have any platform. It's a very plain and simple job placement platform. And then during the pandemic back in 2020 and 2021, I started the new business. I named it Probashi. So now it's a job placement marketplace. We used to connect the professionals, the tourism professionals, IT professionals, and now we are stepping in the healthcare as well. So that's how actually this started.
Fantastic. So you're running a company with around approximately 20 employees, you told me?
Yeah.
And I want to talk about some of your credentials. You've been selected as Most Unorthodox Entrepreneur of the Year 2020 by Bangladesh Bank for your contribution in tourism. Can you share with us how do you get to that type of respect in the industry of tourism in Bangladesh?
Well, that's another interesting thing because in Bangladesh, of course, our government and of course the whole system always encourage the woman entrepreneur, but surprisingly, most of the women entrepreneur actually make a boundary within some certain businesses. Number one, some family businesses is okay, and another thing, the clothing, the boutique thing, the typical SME thing. No one is actually taking the challenge, the different sort of business. So I'm one of the, that entrepreneur who step in the tourism sector. You can say the first generation tourism business. So that was actually the main trigger point because in our country, Bangladesh Bank always in the March, it's International Women's Day, they used to organize a fair for the women entrepreneurs, and that is an interesting system. Every bank nominate one of their best women entrepreneur. So I was luckily nominated that year from the bank I used to financing. So they actually nominated me that year, and the whole portfolio, when Bangladesh Bank officials, they saw that only my venture is kind of different. All are like, that boutique, clothing, the food, something like that. But I'm totally different type of business I'm doing, which is tourism. So that's why they actually selected me in this way. So that's the story.
I can see you're involved in multiple, organizations like United Nations, UNDP. Can you share with us what drives you to, contribute to the development of the communities, and then what are the main things you focus on to try to make a better world?
Well, somehow it came in my journey very early stage. When I was student, I was doing my undergrad. There is an association, United Nations Youth and Student Association. It's all over in the world. In Bangladesh, we have also the same association under UNDP actually. So I was working with them as their volunteer. So that was the beginning. So as a youth volunteer, I had to, that participate in different sort of youth movement, engagement, social contribution. So to be very honest, I didn't have any, that calculative thing in my mind. I was just, okay, it's something I'm satisfied. Maybe I will learn something. Maybe this experience will create value someday. That was in my mind, nothing else. I just started working with them, and eventually I discovered that it actually gave me a very satisfaction, and it's a something else. I like the activities and the contribution to the society and some other engagement for the youth. I like all these things. So that was actually beginning. I completed my graduation, and then I said, oh my God, I'm not a student anymore. So, but I love philanthropy activities. So from that urge, actually, I find some professional organization. It's not, what should I say? It's like organization for the professionals to do philanthropy. I used to work with the Junior Chamber International. I was the local president there. And then eventually started working for the Rotary sometimes, and become a member of chamber bodies. So everywhere, whenever it comes, that some additional activities, philanthropy, social contribution, maybe initially it was for the youth, then for the professionals, then for the business people. So based on the time, the pattern changed, but the end result is like that. So that's the reason I am engaged in different organization. It's you can say like it's from the passion. So I love to meet different sort of people, mingling and network, and of course the social contribution. So that's it.
Great. You come from an aristocratic and social active family, and off record you tell me I didn't use any cables to get to my level of business, my entrepreneurship, which is quite uncommon because especially in emerging countries where we know that using cable is the fastest way to get where you want to go in terms of business or even politics. What are the values that you have deep inside you that make you continue that path of basically being a self-made entrepreneur?
Well, that was interesting because it's a very bold step, because without the family support, where you can take that support, but you are not taking the support. So it's a very bold statement and movement. Actually, my father was in a government job, and my in-laws, my husband, all are in the business world. So when the time came for myself that now I have to start my own career, option one, I could get a very good job, and option two, I can be part of my family business. But I thought that maybe I have some potential, I can prove myself. And because the scary factor was that if I step in the family business, or maybe I'm doing business with my husband, you know that it's a very common thing. Everyone will notice that, oh, she gets all the things, it's a ready-made thing. Nothing was, it's not her contribution. Everything was ready. She's like a puppet, just coming and going home and office and love. And it's very common in Bangladesh and subcontinent. And that's a family business. Wives are going there, and maybe daughters are going there. I personally don't like that, because I feel that I have that capability. Maybe it might take a little bit of time, but I can build my own empire. I can build my own business. And I wanted to prove myself this, yes, from the scratch, you can do something. So that was the main intention, and it actually, that triggered me that, no, let me try. If I failed, of course, I have support, maybe I can ask later on. So why not I would take the chance? So I just took the chance, nothing else.
Fantastic. When it comes to promotion, social media plays a huge part now to attract tourists. A couple of months ago, I saw the Ali Lintar family, which is arguably the biggest family in terms of social media mileage in Indonesia. They have like millions of followers. They were basically promoting Dubai. Very interesting. And what do you see Bangladesh in that social media space? You're using yourself LinkedIn quite well. You have more than 30,000 followers. What are the major application or social media platform that the Bangladeshi community is using at this present time?
Well, unfortunately, it's Facebook and TikTok. I'm not in that social media there, so okay. I prefer LinkedIn because different reason. But in Bangladesh, most of the people used to use social Facebook, and some are TikTok. I don't have account in TikTok, so I don't know what they are doing there, but I had that. And most of the people love the Facebook groups and the communication and everything. But the young population, they are changing a bit. They are focusing on LinkedIn and Twitter as well. So, but mass people still in the Facebook. And the influencer, I should say that social media, there are so many YouTubers who actually influence in the social media. In Bangladesh, we have also, most of them are from the young crowd, I think below 30, to some extent maybe below 25 actually. There is a specific group, some are influencing in TikTok, some are in the Facebook, and some are in the YouTube. So I think you can count like Facebook, and then TikTok, and then YouTube, and then LinkedIn, and maybe then Twitter. So,
Instagram?
Yeah, after Facebook, it's connected. Yeah, it's together. So yeah, young crowd is very much familiar with Instagram.
So they're using basically all the social media that anywhere else, especially in the West, we're using. So it's quite widespread.
Yeah, quite widespread.
Now, final question is about your family. Off record, I asked you if you have children. You told me yes, I have two. Of course, first thing that comes in mind sometime when you're a mother, how can you balance your life? You're here today with us. You have one children from two boys, right?
Yeah, two boys.
9 years old, 16. How do you balance your life and to make sure that they continue their journey through your support, your mentorship, and can you share a few words to inspire a woman who are also in the entrepreneurial journey and also, of course, taking care of the children?
Well, frankly speaking, as a mom, it's not balancing. As a person, of course, I try my best to make a balance. Having business, you don't have any specific time schedule, you know, that there is no 9 to 5 office hour thing. It's almost 24/7. But I started my career a bit late. I had a first kid very early stage, so I'm lucky that I gave him plenty of time initially. So I enjoyed my motherhood that time. Eventually, he started going to school, and then I start my career. So I got that part, but eventually I had another kid. But that time I was in the business. He actually didn't get that much time from me. But the good part is he was used to from the beginning. Yeah, mom is like that. She's always busy. We will get her only maybe in the weekends or the vacations and at night. So my kids are actually used to that whatever is happening, if it's not emergency, no call to mom. If it's emergency, we will only just say that to the point that this is the thing, mom, what to do. So I'm very happy and lucky that they are used to it that. And they actually, that keep all the things, the directions, they are confused about some decisions. They used to talk with me like this, that this is the thing what to do, or this is a scenario, what should we do? So it's a very quality time I spend with my kids. And that it depends how you are, giving them direction. If you with them 24/7, this is one strategy. If you have only 1 hour for them, this is another strategy. So it depends how you are dealing with your kids, how clear you are with your kids, and how they are receiving the message and the strategy. So that's absolutely son and mom's, the terms. So that's how actually we have to manage. The whole world is managing like this. So I follow the same strategy. But yeah, it was a bit difficult because in Bangladesh, most of the time, the definition of mom is like you have to spend the most of the time of your life with the kids. Yes. So I was not like that. So initially, my kids doesn't have any issue, but the society had some issue.
That's why I was asking. The
yeah, so other people, actually my mom was very confused that why you were so busy, why you have to do so many things. So eventually, actually, that sometimes initially it was very challenging, but eventually they used to get it. No, she is like that. Her kids are fine with that. Then why we are bothering that much? So, but yeah, it's difficult in Bangladesh because you have huge family pressure, society pressure, but you have to deal with it, and somehow you will get the way. So that's all.
But talking to you, I feel you are quite fulfilled. And I think it's important as a mother, you must be happy. And it's better maybe to be outside, but doing things that makes you happy when you channel the energy back to your children in a positive way, rather than you will be at home and maybe frustrated because you're not tapping into your own potential.
Yeah.
So it's all about being fair with the time you give to them. And of course, in both society, it is still taboo.
Yeah, right? It's a taboo.
In the West, they will ask, why are you asking her the question?
Yes.
That's why I know. Of course, I'm learning every day, but I know that community, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, the family is very strong.
Family and the society.
There's this thing about the mother-in-law.
Yeah.
I always hear like the mother-in-law in Pakistan and Bangladesh.
Same, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India.
They have a lot of
issues.
They have a lot of say.
Yeah.
And it takes time for them to accept maybe new perspective. And there's no right or wrong. I think it depends on the context.
Yes.
Each family is different.
Yeah.
And
but I want to add something because I was very lucky that my father-in-law was completely a different person because I got married very early, and he inspired me a lot. every time, whenever I went outside of the country, my kids was very little, he inspired me. Why you are bothering? We are here. He actually said, no, don't, that spend time home after the graduation, just start your career. Why you are wasting time? He was like that and inspired me a lot from the family, and it helped me a lot. I got courage from him actually.
Yeah.
He passed away, but he taught me a lot from his professional experience. He shared a lot with me, and now I realize actually it helped me a lot. Now what I do, I share my experience to my kids. Whatever happening in the business world, I talk with my kids maybe at night. This is happening there, and that's how we actually transmit the knowledge,
Yes.
So
by walking the talk.
yes.
It's not necessarily only in the books, but they can
Yes.
see you are the example of that, and then it might inspire to become entrepreneur themselves because
Absolutely.
you're doing it already.
Absolutely. So I got it from my father-in-law,
Yeah.
and now I am doing it to my kids. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Kanish Fatima. It was a true pleasure to have you on the podcast. And please feel free to subscribe, share. We are trying to inspire people from all over the world who have great stories like Ms. Kanish Fatima. And hopefully it will inspire many more to start your journey as an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter your background. Everybody has a chance. There's plenty of resources, and let's help each other to build a better world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to you for having me here.
Yes.
And yeah, it's a story of my journey from Bangladesh. I am pretty sure that the journey is quite similar, most of the women in the world. And yeah, I think people will be more encouraging, and girls will be more in the business world.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.